صباح الخير شباب. عدنان. بخيل. يوسف. محمود. صلاح الدين. عيد إبراهيم. Abdussalam.
4,200 years ago, a global climate change brought about 300 years of drought to ancient Mesopotamia. Rain-dependent agriculture, as practiced in the north of the region, could no longer be sustained. Since 1978, I've been directing an international group of scientists in the excavation of an ancient city in northeastern Syria, Tel Leilan, a capital of the Akkadian Empire that was abandoned during this centuries-long drought. The relationship between climate change of this sort, developments in agricultural technology, and even the fall of once great civilizations is at the heart of our current research.
We're standing on the north side of the Akkadian fortress excavations, on top of a mountain of back dirt that's been removed from the excavations. To the south, you can see the Akkadian glacis, a part of it anyway, and the Akkadian fortress wall immediately behind it. I'm going to show you the way in which this Akkadian glacis appears across the excavation along the north side of the fortress, with the mountains of Turkey to the north, with the Habur Plains between us and the mountains of Turkey. We can approach the Akkadian glacis, which is right here, partially excavated from the very crest of the Akkadian occupation, sloping down at a severe angle, a huge, perhaps 5 or 6 meter thick mud pack glacis, which seems to extend all the way around the Akkadian fortress to the north and extends down to plain level below us, probably about 15 or 20 meters. This is the Aeolian deposit. An Aeolian deposit that's about 1.5 meters or 2 meters thick, depending upon where it's picked up in our Akkadian excavation. It's always sitting on top of Akkadian ash and trash, the last Akkadian occupation. Immediately on top of the refuse deposit is the first of the wind-blown laminations of fine sand, silt, and later on even pebble-sized grains. Subsequently, there's a mass of laminations mixed in with some mud brick collapse. On top of that mud brick collapse and laminations is a deposit of pure wind-blown laminations.
We have a wonderful sequence of deposits here. Right now I'm taking a sample of Aeolian deposits that are post-Akkadian, and I'll be able to compare these with the samples lower down in the sequence that have a lot of agricultural remains in them, and I'll be trying to see what crops were grown and how they were growing them.
What we're doing right now is clearing the central courtyard of the central building of the Akkadian Imperial Palace. On top of this area, there's a lens of mud brick collapse, and immediately below that, there's a large ashy deposit which itself rests upon the floor. The large ashy deposit contains the artifacts left behind by the Akkadians when they abandoned this building. 2 persons excavating it, 1 person recording it, and all 3 aware of the fact that what we want are the charred seeds that are resting on the floor for radiocarbon dating. That is literally picked up with a tweezer as they're excavated. The retrieval of those artifacts is our primary effort at this time. It's the final step in our excavation of this building.
right now we're sifting through the occupational debris left on this floor around these brick ovens. And we're looking for whole grains. And then we take the whole grains and we date them using carbon-14. And by doing that, we can tell how old the floor is and how long people used it for.
She's been a teenager.
Here on this crud, the real first floor is down here. Down this. Okay.
You can see surrounding the tannours, and where Zeki is working, he's cleaning out one of the tannours, are piles of ash. And this is because every time people would use the tannours to bake bread, they would then take the ash and throw it on the floors around this area. And what you can see here is actually 4 walls surrounding the room, a doorway, and an entrance into the street. Over here, adjacent to the tannour, we have a large jar, perhaps a jar for water, perhaps a jar for grain, which was used at the same time as the room and is related to the food preparation that was going on in this area.
Okay.
Here is the northernmost wall of the central corridor of the Akkadian Palace. Adnan and I are doing this wall face together, removing the mud brick collapse from in front of the wall face. You can see the way this mud brick collapse pops off and reveals the plaster behind it, which tells us that we're getting the wall face, we're not making the wall face. Excavating mud brick wall faces is kind of a difficult business. You can get lost really easily. You can go through the wall face and then feel miserable, or you can get the actual wall face to pop off clean for you, a clean break. When you get lost and you get worried, the essential rule is go from the known to the unknown. Go from where you had it last best, and then keep on working forward again. Go back to where you had it last best, and then keep on going forward. So if you get lost, go back to the known, and then work on that, and try to proceed again to the unknown. It's archaeology.
Our ongoing work at Leilan has uncovered significant information about the Akkadian Empire in the 3rd millennium BC. Just as importantly, it has raised wide-reaching questions about abrupt climate change and its impact on a civilization's sustainability, issues that certainly remain pressing in our own times.